Hey fam, Shanice here. Thank you for stopping by my channel. So today we're going to be talking about one of the most asked questions. Like, I can't tell you how many times people have inboxed me this question, and it never dawned on me to make a video, but did last night, hence me up in the morning, and we gonna talk about it, okay?
Bring my name up, they gon' say I came up, they gon' say I changed up, step my game up. When you bring my name up, they gon' say I came up.
So what we're talking about today is when your crochet hair is just way too big and how you thin it out. Now, personally, I like big hair. Y'all know, if y'all follow me on Snapchat and Instagram, like when I start feeling myself, like it's because I got some big hair in. Like I'm all here for it. Like I feel like, you know, I'm a big girl. I need some big hair. But there have been occasions earlier on when I started doing crochet on my own head that it was just way too big. It was just way too big. And I don't mean like this kind of big hair. I mean like Mufasa type big hair. Like it was all over the place. And so I definitely understand the struggle, okay? So sometimes like you can split that hair as much as you can. You can space it out as much as you thought you could, and it still ends up being really big. Now, big hair can create a couple of different problems, okay? One, it could just not be pleasing to the eye. It could just be doing too much, especially when it's a tighter curl. Like you can put in one pack sometimes and the hair is just huge. It looks like it's going everywhere. And if you're trying to go to your 8 to 5 job, you know, with this big hair, like it's just not gonna work, you know, it's just not gonna work. And the second problem would be that the hair is too heavy. Sometimes hair like Keisha.
Who's Keisha?
Sometimes hair like Kima Ocean Wave, that hair is pretty heavy. Felicia hair wasn't that heavy to me. I'm not sure why, but it was very similar. This hair that I have in, which is the, what's it called? Bounce motion. I don't know. I got a video coming out for it. But this hair is kind of heavy, okay? So though I like this big hair, I love this big hair, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still going to take it down a notch just because it's a little heavy. And also, I was trying to duplicate, this is my second time putting this hair in. And so I was trying to duplicate the first installation. And the first installation, I really didn't give a damn about. Like, I didn't record it. I didn't do a review or anything, but the hair ended up just being bomb. And I didn't put that much hair in there. But this time I was like, oh, I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna slay this, I'm gonna do this, and I feel like I put too much hair in it. Not for like this style, I love this style, but not for it to look like the previous install, which is what I was trying to do. So for that reason, I'm going to thin it out, and I was gonna take y'all along so y'all can see what I do. Now, this hair, because it's heavy, I'm gonna end up pretty much cutting it, because that's the only way that you can relieve some of the weight is if you're cutting the hair. But before I do that, I'm going to start out just showing you your other options. And this is for when the hair is not too heavy, it's just simply just too big. Okay, so first thing, let's talk about the things that you're going to need. All right, and this is if the hair is not too heavy, it's just too big. It just doesn't look like you want it to look, you know. All right, so one of the things you could do, which I would suggest first, okay, is sectioning the hair off. Okay, so first of all, you can probably section it off probably in about, I would say about 5. You can do 4 if you're being lazy. I would probably do 4 because I'm lazy, you know what I'm saying? But I would say about 5. I would say probably a top section, and 2 back sections. That's what I would do. And I would just clip it up however you know how. Okay? Now, do I have enough clips to do that? All right, let me just put all my energy in it and not do it the lazy way. Let me do it the way I asked y'all to do it, okay? All right, so I'm going to section off my hair. Doesn't matter how, it's already big, right? All right, so I'm gonna section off my hair. However you do it is fine. back half. All right, I'm getting lazy. I'm not bulking that up, but I'll just put that on. It'll be fine. And section here. Okay. Gotta tell I ain't been wearing no bonnet, right? All right. So I'm gonna start with this section, okay? So the first thing you want to do, this is really dependent on the type of hair you have, okay? This is very important, very important. So what you're gonna do, you have to determine if you're gonna twist the hair or if you're going to braid the hair, okay? How you determine that is by the pattern of the hair. If it is sharp, I don't mean like this, but I mean like sharp, like crimps almost, or let me give you an example. Let me see. I should have examples. All right, like Kima Treasure Chic. So yeah, Kima Treasure Chic, that's one. Free Tress, Deep Wave, Kima Braid, what's it called? Bohemian Twist, I think that's what they call it. Stuff like that that has a tighter wave pattern. Not a curl, but a wave. This is a big wave, okay? But we're talking about tighter wave patterns. Nothing that goes like this, okay? Things that go like this, that's tight, okay? If it's gonna be tight like this, then you're gonna braid the hair, okay? You're gonna braid this section. But if it's hair like this, whether it is, if it's Free Tress Water Wave, okay? Kima Ocean Wave, Ari, what was this? Afri Napturals, what do you call this hair? Afri Naturals, Motion Bounce, Motion, somebody. If it's any hair that has this going on, okay, then you're gonna want to twist it, okay? You're gonna do twists instead of braids, okay? If you had this install in for a while before you decided to calm it down, then you're probably gonna have to detangle it some. In order to detangle it, you want to get you a water bottle and kind of spray it down a bit, mist it a bit, and then go into your braiding or your twisting, whichever it may be, okay? So you're going to, just like I said, this is a big curl, so we're going to twist it. Now, I haven't wet this because I don't think I have to detangle it much, so I'm not worried about that. And depending on how it's cut, if it has a blunt cut to it, then you're going to need rubber bands, okay? But if it's like layered, you shouldn't need them, because you're going to twist it all the way to the bottom. Like so, okay? That's what you're gonna do. And you're gonna apply this method all over your head, okay? So I'm going to go ahead with that. And if you find one that doesn't stay, like I said, just secure it at the end with a rubber band. It's no biggie. Oh, and also, while I'm thinking about it, let me say this. When you start, right when you install your hair, okay, crochet can do a couple different things, okay? You can install it, Oh, I can't talk today, y'all. I know it's too early. You can install it, and you can install it and it be very subtle, and then it can get bigger. Okay, so you can think you had installed it and it's the right volume, you're with it, and in a couple of days it can get bigger, right? And so if that happens, then of course you can try these methods that I'm showing you to do so. Also, you know, you can install it and it be way too big right off the rip, and then like it can actually calm over time. Some hair gets bigger, some hair calms. Really, when you install the hair, I would honestly give it 2 to 3 days before you actually try to calm this hair down, because if you install it and it's big and it's one of those calming hairs, then if you go ahead right off the rip and thin it out, you're gonna look like you're missing something a little later. So if you have the option, you know, I kind of would wait. Maybe, you know, just a few days. I mean, I understand if you install it on Sunday, you got to go to work on Monday and it's looking huge, then you got to do what you got to do, you know, and if you end up looking like you're missing something, you just have to add some more later, but, you know, add with caution. And that's really all you can do. That has happened to me before. And I feel like also when you're going through and doing this, also be aware of how the hair feels in your hand. For instance, this right here, it seemed to be so thick, and it looks thick, right? It's really thick. And then this section here seems to be really thin. That's telling me that the hair in the back, it just is not as thick as the hair is in the top. So where are you going to apply the most work at to thin it out? In the top, right? So just because you're, you know, doing this process of trying to thin the hair out, you know, that doesn't mean to apply it all over your head, because some of your spots in your head may not need it, right? I'm just kind of finger combing it, you know, to make sure that there's no bulks in there anywhere. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just don't want it to be bulky. And if you're doing a tighter curl pattern like free twist, water wave, something like that, some of those bohemian curls are curly instead of zigzag. When you get those tighter curls, you're going to want to do smaller plaits than this, maybe a bit more. Maybe I would say about 10, maybe about 10 plaits. Or more if you got the time, you know, but not too small because it's going to kind of defeat the purpose. I would say between 10 to 15. Or somewhere in the middle of that, but I probably wouldn't go over 15. Okay, this is the first step if you are just trying to calm the hair down without removing any of the hair. It's not too heavy, you just want to calm it down some. So we've twisted it, right? All right. And the first thing you're going to want to do, and this is just kind of trial and error, honestly, because there's not a generic answer really that I can give you, because every hair is different. But so these are just things to try. Keep that in mind, okay? So only thing in here is water. You can get you a mister. You get them at Sally's for like $2 or something, or on Amazon. I'm pretty sure they're pretty cheap. I'll try to put that on my storefront on Amazon, you know, and put the link down below if you want to get it from there. But get you a thing, just water, okay? If you have to use products, we will, but the first thing to try right off the rip is going to be water, okay? So let's spray it. Kind of missed it. I'm just kind of twisting it the way I plaited it, if that makes sense. Okay. And you're going to want to do this all over your head. Now, I'm not going to do it all over my head because in this video, my purpose for thinning my hair is because it's a little too heavy and I use a little bit too much hair for the style that I wanted. So I know I'm going to end up cutting this. So just want to remind you, you know, I'm not going to do All of it, okay. But yeah, so you're gonna try this first. You're gonna leave this for 5 to 10 minutes. If you can do 20 and you ain't got nothing to do, leave it for 20. Do not apply heat to this hair. Doesn't matter what kind. If it's crochet hair, doesn't matter if it's human, it don't matter if it's synthetic. Do not apply heat to this hair. Not for this purpose, okay? Because if you apply heat to it, if you put a dryer on it, you're gonna risk melting it for 1. 2, it can get stuck together. 3, it can change the curl pattern of the hair. Do not apply heat, okay? Just let it air dry. If you have a dryer that blows cool air, by all means, do so. But I really don't like to do that. I just like to let it chill, okay? And then after about 5 minutes, then you're gonna unwrap them. Well, I would say unwrap 1 and see how it looks, because that's gonna give you an idea of how the rest of it's gonna look. And then if it's not pleasing, then we're gonna move forward with the next step. So I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes. I'm gonna take this out and see how it looks. I don't know if y'all can tell, but it looks smaller than what we started with. Like it was out there, okay? But it's calmed down a little bit. I can already tell. And it's not completely dry. Like I can still feel like it's still damp. But as you can see, it's laying down, right? So, I mean, of course, I'm gonna still want to floof it some, you know, because it's just in me. But it is calmed down a majority. Like, that's pretty good, right? And the longer you let it sit, I feel like the more it calms. So, I mean, this was just 5 minutes. 10 or 20 minutes would do it. And I feel like that would help you a lot with a majority of crochet brands, okay? So the next step, let's just say that this didn't work. This didn't work. It's still big, or it worked a little bit. It's not calm enough. You still not there. Okay, so that's when you're gonna go back and retwist it. Now you can also at this point like break it in half if you wanted to, like, and do 2 plaits in this instead of 1 if you're trying to make it drastic, okay? But I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that, but you have that option and it will help, because the smaller they are, well, I won't say the smaller they are, because if they get too small they get bigger. But in this area, being that this is a big section, it could honestly be 2. All right, so instead of using water this time, I'm gonna go through with the alcohol-free setting foam, okay? This one is alcohol-free. Let me be sure, what is it? You know, you just grab one off the shelf. Yeah. Okay, this one is alcohol-free. The Lottie Body. Lord have mercy. Lottie Body been around for forever. But yeah, so you can try Lottie Body. Or whatever brand you have that's alcohol free that you like. Really don't have to be Lottie Body. It can be anything you want it to be. So now, I'm not going to put this on my head, because if I do, I'm going to have to wait for it to completely dry in order for me to do the next process, which is the process that I have to do, which is cutting it, okay? So I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to show you. So you're going to use well, this is a big section. So I would say about 2. Okay. And put it all over your hand, and you're going to squeeze it into the hair. Okay. Like I'll do a little bit, like just like squeeze it. Okay. Let me wipe my hands off. So let's pretend I had a handful of Lottie Body. Okay. And then I would just squeeze it all around. Now, you're gonna need to let this dry. Again, do not apply heat. Do not apply heat, okay? Please. Again, if you have a cool dryer, you can use that, or you can let it air dry. This is going to feel sticky until it dries all the way, okay? I can't say that to be Sorry, I'm trying to wipe my hands. My hands getting sticky. I can't say that to be with all other brands because I haven't tried all other brands. If y'all know me, y'all know I'm allergic to everything. So it's only a select few products that I can use. So this is just happened to be one of them. And I know that until it dries, it feels sticky. So with that, if you're going to do this, you need to make sure before you take this hair down that it has completely dried, and then you can untwist it. Because if not, it's going to cause frizz because the hair strands are going to try to stick together, and you know, this one goes with this curl and this one goes with this curl, but they kind of got strands that stuck together and it makes those little strands, and that's your frizz. Like, so let that dry before you move forward with unraveling these twists or braids or whatever you're doing at that time, okay? So once that's completely dried, you would untwist it again and see where that is for you, okay? It should work. That one should work. Honestly, it should work. Regardless of the type of hair, it should work. But I don't like to add unnecessary product to crochet braids. So that's why I say try water first, because sometimes water works depending on the brand. But if it doesn't, then go in with a setting foam that's alcohol free, and that should work for you. Now, let's go to my problem, right? Where I want to relieve some of the weight and I want to get rid of some of the hair. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to cut it, okay? Now, cutting it, and I'm leaving this so that it can dry just a bit more before I unravel it because I did put some Lottie Body right there. But all right, so cutting it can be different depending on how it's installed. And sometimes you don't know how it's really installed because maybe you went and got the crochet braids done by a stylist and you're not sure how they installed it. And that's okay. There's ways around that, okay? There's ways that you can identify where you can cut at and where you can't. The main way that you can tell is where your parting is. If you know where your exposed parting gonna be, like if you know you only wear this part, the only side part, then you know that you can cut everywhere else, okay? Not cut it off, but I'm saying you can cut in those areas. If you know you wear a middle part, then you know you can cut everywhere else but those 2 rows, that's your part, right? Now, if you like me, you like, you know, a little bit of complication, you need a little variety, you know what I'm saying? Like, because this install, I tried to create to make it look almost like a sew-in, something like that. Oh, I can't wait for the video to come out. Am I going to put that out first? I don't really know. Anyway, get sidetracked. So, this install, it has several different parting options. And I want to be sure that I'm not, you know, being, you know, I like to flip, you know what I'm saying? So, like, if I'm flipping, I don't want to be tripping. Like, I don't want it to be shown, like, where I've cut my hair. So, I'm going to have to be careful with my install in where I cut it at. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and untwist this. As you can see, like, it's already like really calm at this point. And this is ones that I didn't even apply water to. I just twisted it for a while. And it's already calm. You see the difference? That's crazy, right? And it's really sad because I've seen a lot of women was like, oh, it's too big. I did crochet braids, but it was too big, and so I just took it out. And then went to a stylist and got it done and paid like, you know, $100-something to get their crochet installed, and it was too big, so then they took it out. But do you see how that's calmed down already? Okay, and this is easy, like this stuff you can do at home. So there, and see, this is already really calm. Way calmer than what it was, right? That's crazy. So, but like, I like to floof mine up, and it's still like a bit too heavy. Like, you can tell there's weight in this hair. I want to say I use, let me see, I got 4, I had 2, I have 1 left. I used 5 packs of hair, and I should not have used 5 packs of hair for this, but I did. I'm not sure why. I don't know. Maybe I was too lazy to split it more than twice. I'm not sure. But okay. Now, as I told y'all earlier, my back, the back of it is not thick at all. It's the top, it's the parting. And I'm gonna tell you this right now, like if you're doing seamless or you went and got an illusion or a seamless crochet, they use more hair. They do, and it's necessary kind of because they have to, they have to cover your cornrows and have enough hair to create the frizz that they need to, make that illusion. So, but it can be still calm down some. You don't have to do all of it. So, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my scissors, all right? And like this is one of the parts that I know that I'm gonna wanna wear, all right? I'm gonna wanna wear this. This one, is it even an illusion parting right there? I think so. Yeah. All right, so that's an illusion part right there. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna get this, throw it over there. And now if you want to, you can get something that's secure. I might take these glasses off. Anyway, you can get something, and I'm sorry I'm looking at this and not y'all, my apologies. But you can get this and section it off if you want to try to, get it out of the way. And I know that this hair is the hair that I can cut on this section. So I've seen people take whole strands like from the top. You can do that. If you're comfortable with crochet braids, you've been installing them yourself, for a little bit. If you want to cut out the whole strands, you can do that. But as you know, you're gonna have to be careful in spacing because you don't want it to start to look blotchy, okay? So instead of doing that this time, I'm just gonna kind of thin it out. I'm gonna thin out the strands. You see, that's what I cut out. Same thing here. Cutting it out. You want to be sure not to affect the length any, so your perimeter back here, I would not bother that bottom hair, but this is what I'm doing to take some of the weight off. I kid you not, I can already tell the difference. I'm not gonna do this in the back because, like I said, it's already kind of thin back there. That's already it already feels lighter. Like I can tell a significant difference. Now, will this method work with straight crochet? No. Straight crochet, you're gonna have to take out. It really needs to be installed right from the get-go, like it really does. But if it's too big, I definitely want to do this whole layering situation. This is only for hair that has, certain kind of, curl patterns, whether it's big waves, tight waves, whatever. It needs to have some kind of curl to it. This is not for straight. Let's take some of that out. Okay, that's getting better already. So I know that this is one of the parts that I like. So I'm gonna move that out the way. And then also I'm trying to support the middle part. This is the middle part. So I probably won't use these parts. And I know it's hard to see the parts because that's my illusion method. Y'all check it out. But yeah, so but there's two right here. You can't see it. So I'm just gonna start thinning there too, in between my exposed partings. See, that's a big one. That's a really heavy one there. I'm just kind of cutting in a downward angle. Oh, that's a one. Pretty. No, that's in the back. I'm not gonna bother that. Oh, this is a big heavy one. Let's see about this one. Do not pull it, like, don't cut it blunt. Do not do this. This is not gonna help you. Okay, you have to be sure to hold the scissors down in a downward angle and just kind of work your way down the strand like that. Okay, there's already so much hair. I'm gonna pick it up in a minute and show you. So that's my middle part. I'm not gonna bother that. See, this is what I wanted. This is it. This is it for me. All right, I'm gonna do the other side next. And see, like the other side, it looks like this side, but that's only because like it's still from where we twisted it earlier. It's calm, but when I get ready to flip it and stuff, it's gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger again. Okay, and so yeah, and let me mention that will happen if you go with the first method where we were twisting it and you just want it to calm down. It's only gonna calm down, you know, for a certain amount of time. Now, if you're not a flipper, like I like to flip my hair all around when I'm doing my videos, when I'm doing my pictures, I like to flip it, okay? And so with that, of course, you're tossing on your hair, so it's gonna get wild and kind of, you know, big, which is kind of what I go for to a certain extent. And so if you're like that, then you may want to go with this cutting method to make sure that it doesn't get too big while you're doing that. But if you're, I understand that everybody is not extra like me. Everybody extra with this hair like me. So, you know, if you're not extra like me, and you know you're gonna keep with one side part or the other side or the middle part, and you really just more like a sleek vibe, calm vibe, and you're not gonna be tossing your hair back and forth and whatever, then of course that will work for you, the twisting it and applying water or applying mousse, whichever, that will work for you, and it'll work probably that one time. You may have to do it one other time in between the install, but you know, other than that, it'll be fine. And as you see, it's not a big deal. It's a pretty fast process, so you don't have to worry about that. But for me, you know, I need to cut it some. Okay, so I still see like a few big strands. Like this is big. I can take some of the weight off of this. Great. Beautiful. So this is actually two right here. I'm not gonna part it this big though, it is kind of cute, but I'm going to alleviate some of the weight here. And you're basically just going to apply this process until you get what you want. Okay, and I always say do a little at a time. If this is your first time doing this and your first time cutting the crochet like this, then you want to do a little bit at a time, maybe do a roll at a time, and then flip the hair back where you're going to wear it, like as far as the part goes, see how it looks, and then go back, you know, and add, you know, cut more if you need to. Okay, don't just be cutting, and then when you flip and go back to, you know, your actual style, and then you can cut pretty much all your crochet hair. Like, just don't get scissor happy. That's the moral of the story. Don't get scissor happy. And like, for me, it seems like maybe I didn't install as much hair on this side as I did the other. Completely makes sense. Sometimes that happens, especially if you're doing your own hair. You might not be able to see as well. So that does happen, no biggie. Just calm down the other side, or if you want it to be bigger, you know, add hair to the other side, whichever way you're trying to go with it. So I feel like on this side, I'm not gonna cut as much because it's already kind of calm on this side. I feel like it needs more layers though. So like this is my part. So like this can be, this is a big heavy strand. I wanna cut some of this though. I just want to add a few more layers to the top. I told you I'm extra. Y'all know this. Sorry. Okay. That's so much better. I feel like this needs to be cut some. Not much, because the back was already kind of thin. See, that's what makes me feel like all the hair to the front. Just gonna pull it down the middle. Let's see what we're working with. Of course, this hair at the nape is gonna always be a little bit more tangled. You wanna make sure to try to pull those tangles out first. And it probably doesn't seem like we've cut a lot of hair, but we really have. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna get all this hair up. Okay. See, now this is much better for me. Like, it's still big, but it's not as big. Yeah, this looks more like my previous install. Let me show y'all which install I'm trying to get to. See this hair here? Like, I have installed the hell out of that hair. Didn't care for it. I was like, this is so mediocre, whatever. I was like, I want me some more boutique crochet hair. Nicole, where you at? Because I'm like, this hair store hair is just not it for me no more. But then this hair just started to grow. Like, it started to blossom almost. And I don't know, like, when I started taking pictures and was doing TikToks that day, I was like, oh my God. And so when I ended up taking the hair out, I didn't do a review or anything because, again, I was being lazy. I don't say I'll be lazy, y'all. Like, y'all know I got a lot going on right now. And so I did end up doing a video. I wanted to go ahead and take it out that night. And so I didn't do a review. And when I started posting the actual pictures, then people started hitting my inbox like, what hair is that? Can you go ahead and tell me what hair that is? I know you're probably going to do a video, but you know what hair it is. And so I went on and told them what hair. But I'm like, damn, I really need to do a video for this hair. So said I'm trying to get that install, and I feel like this density is that install. Yeah, this is it. So let me show you the hair that I cut. It's kind of bunched up. I hope it doesn't fall. Couldn't get, you know, the little single strands. I had to sweep that up. But, and I can tell you right now, it was falling. I can tell you right now, my hair already feels like, it feels so like that little bit right here, that changed the weight of this hair drastically. And it feels much, much better, way more manageable. And yeah, I'm with it. You know, if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. If you have a story where you went to get your hair installed or you installed your hair and it was way too big and you had to take it out or something, drop it in the comment section and share the story with our family. If you found this video helpful at all, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and to share it with another crochet friend. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate and love you all. Let's get to 10K. I'll see you guys next time. Peace and blessings.
Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for line. Keep it super thug my way on this side. Keep it super thug my way on this side. Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for line. Keep it super thug.